Hello everybody, I'm your host Captain Pervert, and we all very well know now lately well, I'm a James Bond fan, and I love the iconic vehicles what are in the actual James Bond series, and we have tried to replicate most of them in that old classic game Grand Theft Auto 5. And this is our 10 car garage collection, and I am gonna pick a Pacific car, for our episode. The most iconic vehicle of all, not the DB5 or the Lotus as well. Now we're talking about the Mercedes-Benz 250 SE 1965, not to be confused with the 300 SE.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know, they're more or less just familiar cars, aren't they? It's from the movie Octopussy.
You can't be saying that!
Shut up, Captain Cold, you put me off my driving, alright? I mean, I can't help it how the title of the movie's called that. That's what they gave it.
That's offensive to ladies mentioning their body parts.
No, that's what the title is. The movie Octopussy.
You said it again, that's disgusting.
I know, but I can't help it. It's the name of the movie. And not even that. You see the octopuses in it.
What you mean?
I mean, well, they are Swedish. I mean, they're very, very popular, the Swedish ladies, you know, in the Bond movies. I mean, a very famous Swedish lady, what was actually got married to one of the oldest Bonds, you know, from Casino Royale.
Right.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Our Captain Gorgeous has never seen a Bond movie, so any Bond knowledge I'm coming out with, he won't know what I'm bleeding on about.
It's not my fault my mum won't let me watch any Bond movies. And anyhow, how you talk about them, they seem a bit weird.
Well, we're showing the wrong one, the wrong Casino Royale. It's a 1967 one. You know, with Ulsa Anderson, you know, the one from Dr. No, the musical James Bond with Sean Connery.
Right.
You don't know what I'm on about. You need to see a bleeding Bond movie at least.
Well, I can't help that, can I?
Well, Casino Royale had the famous actor Peter Sellers more well known in playing Inspector Clouseau in the Pink Panther movies, and that's how he got his Swedish girlfriend, what was 17 years younger than him, and he took her to see the film he was in, so obviously he got him free, and he met her at the Dutchish Hotel, and he introduced her to cannabis. 10 days later they were married, and then he was in charge of what any movie she should star in. But Cubby Broccoli offered to, have her in a Bond movie because he wanted her, and he must have guaranteed that he could give her loads of pasta to eat to improve her breasts to get bigger.
What?
Yeah, that's what she claimed on an interview, that Mr. Broccoli.
Right, who's that?
Oh, bleeding it. He's in charge of the Bond movies, right?
And in charge of women's breasts?
Well, at the time, maybe. God, this is complicated. You need to know something.
Like what?
Rhett Etlin was famous for, being with Rob Stewart and other guys, but Bond shoved her in a wardrobe because another Swedish lady, Maud Adams, right? She was the popular one. And now she was actually being out with Christopher Lee when they were filming Octopussy.
Can't be saying that!
Well, Superman 3, that movie.
Yeah,
it's got Richard Price in. Everyone thinks that it was his movie.
Yeah, but it does star that stunt guy right along, and now he's very popular, isn't he?
Not as popular maybe like Brett Etlin, but not as much as Maud Adams for the Bond movie, because she starred in 2 Bond movies, playing separate characters.
What, like twins?
No, but there is twins in Octopussy.
I told you not to say that. How offensive can you be?
I can't help the bleeding title, can I?
That is so offensive.
Yeah, but it's like that other Swedish actress what worked with Maud Adams, Christina Weirborn, and she had a lovely picture of a giant cat.
Right.
And that got her part in the Octopussy.
You can't be saying that, keep saying that.
Hey, it gets worse in the movie. She says to James Bond, "Oh, that's my Octopussy," when he asks what it is.
And what is it?
Well, it's a tattoo of her Octopussy.
Right.
Well, Maud Adams, right? You see her Octopussy sitting on a guy's face when his other guy, right, he's trying to kill her and Bond with a yo-yo.
What?
Yeah, a yo-yo.
A bloody yo-yo?
Yeah, they're bleeding dangerous, yo-yos. It showed them when they killed that famous tennis player. I mean, we all know him as VJ.
Right.
And he has this suit tap, and he plays tennis against a Willie Jeep on India roads.
India?
Yeah, that's where it's based at. And typical stereotype, he's a snake charmer, and he plays the James Bond theme in the movie Sweet Charming Killer Cobra Snakes.
Right.
So he got Octopussy.
I told you not to say that.
Well, it's a character. I mean, they got the actress, Faye Dunaway, but she was too expensive. So they went, bugger off, we'll get a B actress, Sybil Danning. But, she played in Streetcar, can't she, later on?
Right.
So they thought of getting the actress Persis King Cabara, but they won't recognise her with her hair on, so they went for Barbara Carver, right? But she went on that rival James Bond.
You what?
Yeah, I didn't want to go there, or what?
Why?
Oh, it's going to be a long story. So, once upon a time in history, in a faraway land from England, was Germany, and they had a great big wall.
Right.
And it was called the Berlin Wall, where people were divided, and that's what it seemed like it was when 1983,
Yeah.
that there were two Bond rival movies.
Right.
That year it was classed as Battle of the Bonds 1983, and Kevin McClory had the rights to create his own Thunderbolt movie when he won in court with Ian Fleming, the author of Bond.
Right.
So they had Moore Adams, who starred in a previous Bond movie, teaching American to be an English spy for the James Bond movies, but they needed someone to compete against the original first James Bond, Sean Connery, so they needed to get Roger Moore back for another epic James Bond action. So they got Moore Adams to play Octopussy.
I told you not to say that.
Can't help it, it's the title of the movie.
Well, it sounds disgusting.
Well, the rival Bond movie had a secret gadget motorcycle, and obviously it got our imagination a lot later on when we had Street Hawk coming out and all that lot.
Right.
So when we saw the clip of Octopussy,
I said not say that.
oh, just shut up, right? I mean, I saw the trailer, and we all seen these gadget cars, like a submarine car, and it's already been done. I mean, and the man with the golden gun, he had a flying car with a villain. But seeing an actual car with going on the train tracks, that's what I thought. He had a new gadget car, and it was a German car.
Why a German car?
Well, later on he gets one.
So what is the trailer like then?
Oh, I'll show it you.
From the producers of all the great James Bond films, from Dr. No to For Your Eyes Only. And now, Roger Moore is Ian Fleming's James Bond 007 in Octopussy.
I'm Octopussy. Let me tease you with a peek at the next and most fabulous Bond of all.
What the hell, plastic spiders? How cheap was this film made?
Shut up, Captain Gorgeous. I mean, Bond's been hunted in the manhunt, right? And he's got a tattoo like tigers.
What does that look like? He's in like his... He looks like he's running through a Halloween set.
Shut up, Captain Gorgeous. I mean, it's like Rambo 2 because it's got Steven Berkoff in it, right? But it's based on that short story, The Most Dangerous Game, where, they're getting hunted. And, like James Bond's Tarzan, or Barbara Woodhouse.
You what? Barbara Woodhouse? That woman was maliciously cruel to dogs, choking them with them choking chains.
Yeah, that's right, he does that, right, to this tiger, because John Glenn, right, he borrowed the Amaraja stuffed tiger, and he put it on a wheelbarrow, and he will charge you through the jungle, through his garden, with.
You what? Someone's garden? Is that why you got obsessions of wheelbarrows?
No, I mean, there was tragedy what happened in Pinewood Studios, there was spies.
Like what?
Superman 3 was filmed next door to the set of Octopussy, right?
I told you not to say that.
Well, carrying on. Christopher Reeve was coming around, wanting to go out with Roger Moore.
Right.
But there was this actor what was in Kevin McClory's Bond, the actor Gavin O'Healy was roaming around the set, and there were mysterious accidents what happened.
Like what?
Well, the DB-5J mini jet scene, right, at Northrop RAF base, right? They had a plane on a Jaguar, right, and the Jag's accelerator got stuck, and it was heading towards the Queen's Majesty's Royal Air Force planes.
Right.
And that was the scene where the stunt chickens were in.
Stunt chickens?
Yeah, stunt chickens.
Is that animal cruelty?
No, but they're professional stunt chickens.
Don't you having me on?
I mean, there was other accidents in this scene, you know, with the jet. That there was this convoy meant to be crashing, and there was a stunt guy what didn't leap out of the vehicle.
Right, and what happened?
Well, it's a stunt guy, like the chicken, it was fine.
You what?
No, it's alright. I mean, when they finally got the vehicle back upright, I think they managed to find him somewhere underneath the wreckage.
You bleeding idiot! You win! That's serious!
I mean, it got serious that they actually threw a plane off a cliff.
Right, and when what happened?
Well, it flew over a actual freeway with traffic.
Then what?
Well, there's no pilot in it. It was full of gelinite.
Then what?
Well, it finally crashed and exploded.
In a general public area?
Well, near enough.
Near enough?
Yeah, never mind. William Derrick was the actor who had that killer yo-yo, right, in the movie Octopussy, right? And he broke his arm when he moved some stuff, right?
Right.
So I always wanted that toy.
What, a yo-yo?
No, the electric train set from Octopussy. I always wanted that. But back to the accident. I always speculate it could be that actor.
What actor?
You know, in Superman 3.
Yeah.
Well, he's going around and he's in that Arrival Bond movie.
Is this your own speculations?
Well, yeah, and my theory, yes.
Do you mean Richard Pryor's did all this sabotaging just to be in Superman?
No, not him. He's a comedian anyhow. That actor, that's him. He was in the Arrival Bond. I mean, even the stunt performers were all separated. Roy Alon was, in Say Never Say Never. And Martin Grace was in Octopussy. And he was in the Stunt Challenge 1983, competing against Roy Alon. Roy Alon did win it, but Martin Grace talks about this severely nasty accident he had on Octopussy when he was in Near Valley Railway, right, where he was on the train, where he was dangling off it, and he had to have his feet hitting the ground, and he's just wearing normal shoes. He said it hurt like buggery, but they went up a section of track. He didn't know. I mean, why were they going up there? Anyhow, somehow he made contact with a concrete bollard, and he managed to hang on for dear life, because if he fell off, he could have gone under the wheels or anything. And it took him 6 months to recuperate. And then he comes on this Stunt Challenge program. Now that was great, because we saw that on YouTube on Behind the Stands. I mean, thank you for that, for the memories. But on YouTube, I've taken it down. But it was lovely, just to have that memory back, seeing that again.
Right.
It's like this YouTuber F Cobra 11 you're watching. Now, his first official stunt tape he got given was a Betamax tape, right? And he collected stunts. And and he was recording all these programs. His first one was about James Bond, where people came out like their favourite clips, like Ronald Reagan, the president at the time, down to Barbara Woodhouse saying, "Of course it worked on Tigers," she said. It was so interesting, but my imagination with that vehicle driving on the train tracks could have showed a clip.
Why don't you show me a clip so I know what's going on?
Well, I should do, shouldn't I?
I've been asked to state my feelings about a fellow named Bond, James Bond. Well, as I see it, 007 is really a 10. He's our modern-day version of the great heroes who appeared from time to time throughout history. There were many like him in the past, pioneers, soldiers, lawmen, explorers, people who all went out and put their lives on the line for the cause of good. Bond is fearless, skilled, witty, courageous, optimistic, and one other thing, he always gets his girl. He meets up with some pretty terrifying enemies, but somehow with his determination, skill, and yes, the help of a good script, he always triumphs over them. James Bond is a man of honor. Maybe it sounds old-fashioned, but I believe he's a symbol of real value to the free world. Of course, some critics might say that Bond is nothing more than an actor in the movies, but then we've all got to start somewhere.
Wow, the President of the United States knows who James Bond is.
Yeah?
But I want to know about the plot of this movie and all this lot. That's what I want to really know.
Alright, I'll put another clip on.
I had 2 years off in between each one, so I really don't get fed up with it.
I don't expect you to give away the plot, but what's it about?
It's about this agent called James Bond, who is licensed to kill. And his code number is 007.
Well, we know all that.
Oh. Well, you see, there is a villain. It's, well, I don't know, it's very different. Most of the action takes place centered around a traveling circus, which is owned by a lady called Octopussy. And she has given her name to this circus. Who gave her name, I don't know. But anyway, and because it's Bond, there are lots of octopuses. They are trained acrobats who also happen to be very beautiful young ladies. They're fairly lethal too. And it would appear that one mad Russian, against the wishes of the other Russians, is going to do something that could spark off a nuclear war.
James Bond doesn't know what she's called Octopussy, or I do, right? He goes after a Major Dexter Smythe, right, in Jamaica, and he has a pet octopus.
Right, what's this order to come of a sudden?
Well, I'm telling you why she's called Octopussy, because this Major Dexter Smythe has a daughter, and he's got pet, octopus, and he feeds it. And Bond catches him because he's stolen this Nazi gold, and he's got to have a court-martial.
Right, is this irrelevant?
Well, it's like a sequel in the movie, right? Because when Bond comes into it, it's his daughter. She's called Octopussy.
So she's named after a pet octopus.
Well, Bond gives him the option of killing himself, so he feeds himself to the octopus.
Oh, just put a clip on.
Alright, but don't tell your mum. Right, we've got Bond, right? He's got to shoot all these rations, because, he's a British agent, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's not really nice stereotype.
Yeah, but they're trying to kill him, right? And when they're like, you can hear him just screaming his head off, "Get him, get him!" So Bond is doing his typical, as he usually does. He's going to go all Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, you heard. GEA.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, well, we're used to him stealing like boats, throwing the kids out with wooden elephants and stuff. But this is the first movie where he goes Grand Theft Auto, because he does steal a car, later on, a woman in a phone booth, right? And she's like, typical German stereotype, with them sun lounges, you know, that was taking them.
So we're watching this clip, and what's going on?
Right, it's got flat tyres, right? But this is what I'm going to want to emulate.
You want to emulate this?
Yeah, I mean, I want to know if it works.
You want to know driving on train tracks works with flat tyres? I don't think that does in reality. I mean, what's going on now is all this music blaring out.
Yeah, that's the James Bond theme. And it was like, it was based on the kids' tune, really. You know, the guy was creating this children's music, right? And they wanted him to create a Bond theme music, right? And so he used that.
Is this relevant? Because you're talking a load of nonsense again.
I'm not. I mean, the dedication of all this and stamp work, what's going on.
What? Seeing James Bond wear gadget umbrella?
Well, it's not a gadget umbrella, but it could do, you know. How did you know he might have a gadget umbrella?
Because you've been talking about gadgets.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, you know the guy what was the signal box? Why did you put him on that track for? Knowing there'll be another train head coming head on. There was something wrong with that shot, because the car was facing the wrong way when it hit the boat.
Alright, don't get technical.
How can you get technical with that? That was stupid. I don't get the signal man sending him into a head-on collision with a train.
Well, he's Bond, isn't it?
What's that got to do with it? I mean, they spent all that money with plastic spiders to do that with that car scene.
Well, I'm going to emulate that.
Why would you?
Because I always wanted that iconic car at the time as well. Before I saw the movie, I just saw a clip and I thought it was a gadget car, like I said. And yeah, I always wanted to know if that theory works.
You want to know if that theory works? Well, I bet it doesn't. And we should be saying like disclaimer for like little children or all that lot. We don't want them stealing their parents' car and driving it on train tracks, because I don't think it'll work.
And well, do you know it won't work? I mean, I'm going to try and actually do that, right?
You're going to actually try to do that?
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't think it'll work.
Well, yeah. This is it, my big moment. So I got to the location, everybody, right? And obviously you can tell, terrible weather. I mean, it was just raining, you know, terrible. And I didn't want to do it in really bad weather. But I wanted a good shot, you know, to give you, like, you know, me hosting this formally dangerous James Bond stunt I'm going to be actually doing.
On a video game?
Well, yeah. I mean, for dramatic effect, I've got a train going by to put it in that danger.
Like there's some signal man's going to make you have a head-on collision.
Will you just give your thought about babbling on about that movie?
Well, you brought it up, didn't you?
I know I did.
Yeah, well, which movie you on about?
Oh, bleeding heck.
Octopussy. Ha ha, very funny.
Well, I had to wait for the weather to calm down.
On a video game?
Well, yeah, it's bleeding dangerous, this bleeding stunt I'm doing.
You do know it's a video game, you're not going to get really hurt, are you?
Well, my thumbs could get hurt or something. Anyhow, for the dramatic shot, there I was, standing in my front of my vehicle, and I'm getting my gun out to shoot the tyres out, because obviously the tyres were flat. Because most of the time on this game, you could buy yourself some bulletproof tyres. Obviously, it wouldn't work. I mean, now got a dramatic shot of a train going by, and there I am shooting my tyres out to give out that serious effect.
You're just milking this so much, aren't you?
Just shut up, because you didn't think about doing this stunt.
Why would I do something stupidity like that at all?
Well, now I'm going to attempt to actually do the stunt now, right?
It's not alright, there's a bleeding train coming.
I'll get on the tracks and I'll get this stunt done very well. Just watch this. James Bond, here I go, yeah! I always want to do this. Oh, bloody hell, come on! Ah!
Oh dear, he's dead.
No, I'm not. I got loads of more information. I've got to mention about the floating palace with Octopussy, the fragile ray egg, why Roger Moore, James Bond, is wearing clown outfit, you know, trying to defuse a bomb, to him being robbing a Alfa Romeo GTV, because he does GTA again on this. And, you know, on the 6th of June 1983, it made $187 million, compared to the Arrival, to say never, the 7th of October, it made only $160 million.
And I don't care, it's the end of the show, because your stupid stunt was rubbish.
Fine then. So, on that note, everyone, on that twisted railway track, it's time to end the show.
I'm even funnier on that plastic spider. It's definitely ending the show. Why are you looking at me like that?
I told you,